Recording in progress.
Okay, everybody, it's 5:55 p.m. I'd like to call the first public hearing to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance in a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Standing for a moment of silence for our veterans and observance of Veterans Day, and also for Rich Roman from PennDOT District 4, who passed away suddenly this past week and was a great friend to Luzerne County. Thank you. Okay. Roll call, please, Ms. Lawrence.
Mr. Hawes?
Here.
Ms. Krishnowski?
Here.
Mr. Liscavige? Ms. McDermott?
Here.
Mr. Perry? Here. Mr. Sabatino?
Here.
Ms. Smith? Ms. Stevenson?
Here.
Mr. Thornton?
Here.
Mr. Wilovich?
Here.
Mr. Lombardo?
Here.
You have 9 of 11.
Thank you. We'll now have public comment on the proposed ordinance amending the 2025 fiscal year budget for Luzerne County for the derivative payment. Mr. Griffith?
Good evening, Council. The only concern for amending the budget is I still believe that the charter clearly gives that power to council to introduce these ordinances to amend the budget. Section 510 of the charter says about amending the Luzerne County budget, and that's a power of council. So there should be 4 votes to introduce that ordinance, as well as the vote to pass the ordinance. So that's my objection to that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Griffith. Anybody else for public comment? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Meeting's adjourned. I'll call the second public hearing to order. We already had the Pledge of Allegiance in a moment of silence. Roll call, Ms. Lawrence.
Mr. Hawes?
Here.
Ms. Krishnowski?
Here.
Mr. Liscavige? Mr. Lombardo?
Here.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Ms. McDermott?
Here.
Mr. Perry? Here. Mr. Sabatino?
Here.
Ms. Smith? Ms. Stevenson?
Present.
Mr. Thornton?
Here, and I just want to let you know Mr. Liscavige is in Wisconsin.
Thank you.
Mr. Wilovich?
Here.
Mr. Lombardo?
Here.
9 of 11.
All right, thank you. We'll now have public comment on the proposed ordinance pursuant to Act 48 of 2024, establishing a county demolition rehabilitation fund and imposing a fee to be collected by the Luzerne County Tax Claim Bureau or its agents for the purchasers at sales under the real estate tax sale law and by the Luzerne County Sheriff from judicial sales in mortgage foreclosure actions. Mr. Griffith?
On that ordinance, I have the same objection, obviously, that the wasn't properly introduced. But the other part of it is this is a fee that we're imposing on the people of the county or anybody who buys a property. So that's even more of a violation. It should have been introduced by 4 members of council. But the other issue that I have is it says it's effective February 15th, 2026 in Section 3. And Section 4 says the directive says effective as of March 1st, 2025. So should that be 2026 it becomes effective, or is this a retroactive ordinance? But my concern is obviously if this is a February 15th, 2026 ordinance, why is this council doing it? Why shouldn't we wait for the new council to come in and do this ordinance for this fee? The new council that comes in may not want to charge a $100 fee for the demolition and rehabilitation fund. They may not. So we're jumping to elected council. So those are my objections. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Griffith. We have a hand up on the Zoom. I think it's Mr. Rabo. Sorry if I don't know if I called you at the last, if your hand was up before.
Mr. Chairman, this is Mark Rabo of Hazelton speaking. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. With regards to this fee, as you and probably most of the county knows how I feel about blight and the need for Luzerne County to tackle blight. The county manager knows all too well. everybody that has ever sat with me in a redevelopment authority meeting, blighted property review committee meeting in the city of Hazleton and in Luzerne County knows how I feel about this issue. And even the Pittston mayor knows how I feel about this issue. So I can attest to, and also my service on the State Blight Task Force since 2012. So I'm well aware of these statutes, the legislation that comes through our state legislature and gets signed into law. So, Mr. Chairman, back in 2017, the council, lobbied by Mr. Hawes, brought the fee, which was $15, which was Act 48, or excuse me, Act 152 of 2016, which would have levied a $15 fee on the any kind of transaction from the recorder of deeds, levied for a property transfer. This one is very different, Mr. Chair, because this one's $100 and this can go up to $250. And I'm very concerned about this becoming a slush fund, not a demolition fund. So in that respect, and also to answer the controller's question on how, when it takes effect under the law, under the statute, the state statute, it says 90 days. It's supposed to take effect. Now, I don't see that in the ordinance. Maybe Mr. Skeen could correct me if I'm wrong, but that should be placed in the ordinance that it has to take effect 90 days after approval by this council, because that is in the state statute. So I would suggest, if it's not in there, that you or a member of council put the amendment in there to make it clear, because to comply with state statute. So, Mr. Chair, one question I have is this going to be the sheriff that manages this fund, or the director, or is it going to be the tax claim bureau, elite revenue, that manages this fund? That's all I have, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Rabo. Anybody else for public comment? Is there a motion to adjourn? Oh, go ahead, Attorney Skeen.
So the sheriff could probably speak to this, sheriff could probably speak to this, but we have, the provision in here is it's effective February 15th of 26, because we have to wait 90 days. So from now until then, it'll be 90 days for it to be effective. And the March date is, I think the statute's enactment time, which it would have to be within, so if you did it after it was enacted, you'd have to wait 90 days. So we are waiting 90 days based upon the dates that are in this ordinance.
Okay. All right, thank you. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion?
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Public hearing's adjourned. It is 6:03 p.m. I'd like to call the voting session to order. We've already had the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. Roll call, Ms. Lawrence.
Mr. Hawes?
Here.
Ms. Krishnowski?
Here.
Mr. Liscavige? Ms. McDermott?
Here.
Mr. Perry? Mr. Sabatino?
Here.
Ms. Smith? Ms. Stevenson?
Here.
Mr. Thornton?
I'm here. Mr. Liscavige is still in Wisconsin.
Mr. Wilovich?
Present.
Mr. Lombardo?
Here.
9 of 11.
All right, thank you. Before we go any further, Attorney Skeen, can you please announce the executive session?
Yes, prior to this meeting, we had an executive session concerning the appointment of a division head. It was an executive session because it's a personnel matter. And during that time, we also discussed a litigation matter where we could settle a case from the prison. And we will have a meeting, at the next meeting, we will be able to have a resolution to do so.
All right, thank you, Attorney Skeen. We do have one ceremonial proclamation for the Plymouth Christian Church 200th anniversary. Whereas the 12th day of November 2025 will mark the 200th anniversary of the organization of the Plymouth Christian Church of Plymouth, Pennsylvania, and whereas on November 12th, 1825, the Plymouth Christian Church was chartered and since has provided spiritual strength as well as compassionate service for the Plymouth community, demonstrating an example of its teachings during its 200 years of existence. Whereas lauded as the oldest church in Plymouth and the oldest Protestant denomination to have originated in the United States, the Plymouth Christian Church became affiliated with the Christian Church in 1850. It has become home to numerous Girl Scout of USA troops and supports numerous service projects within the community, including serving meals at the WB Rescue Mission, packing gift boxes for Operation Christmas Child, ringing bells for the Salvation Army during the holiday season, participating in Super Bowl Sunday, supplying a miscellaneous supply pantry for those in need, collecting donations for the Plymouth Food Bank for those in need. The members of the Plymouth Christian Church have enjoyed a long history of service to God and their fellow citizens. The church has been blessed with ministers and lay people who strive to live in a manner that gives testimony to their spiritual beliefs. Their faith, determination, generosity, and stewardship have enabled the church to become a vital and inspiring presence in the community. Now, therefore, we, the Luzerne County Council, do heartily congratulate the Plymouth Christian Church upon the joyous celebration of its 200th anniversary and offer best wishes for a continued tradition of devoted service to God and humanity. Is there individuals here from the church that want to? I don't know if you want to say a few words. You don't have to if you don't want to. Okay, all right. Thank you very much and congratulations on your anniversary. Okay. Any deletions from the voting session agenda? Is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Agenda is adopted. We'll now have public comment on voting session agenda items only. I do have a few slips up here that are labeled for the tenor health discussion, so they will be called up at the end of the voting session meeting. I do have one for a Mike Tedesco. Tenor health. Tenor, okay, great. All right, Mr. Griffith?
Agenda item number 6 is one I want to comment on regarding the Service Electric contract. I strongly urge this council to not accept that contract and to not use Service Electric after the end of the year, only because I don't think it's a service that we actually need in the county right now. When they were originally brought in here, it was because we had no ability to broadcast the meetings as well as make the public aware of what was happening in these council meetings. Since then, through the help of the county manager and the council, we've had enough money provided to put this room together. We have cameras, as you can see, and we have a good sound system. And our audios are all put up online for all the meetings, not only council meetings. In the interest of transparency, we do that. All authority boards and commission meetings that are held are put up online, audio. The video, obviously, is not up online, but Service Electric doesn't service the entire county. They only service a certain section of the county. And I do understand that we do put some of the video up on YouTube as well, but if you have the ability to get YouTube, then that's fine, but if you don't, you still can't see the video. I think what's most important is that we put the audio online for people who haven't had the ability to attend the meeting, to could actually listen to the meeting, analyze it against the minutes that are adopted by council, and it's transparent as they could see it online through the Zoom platform, which we provide. That's plenty. I think the ability for us to have a Service Electric contract and puts the county in a position where we possibly could be sued for something. We could obviously have issues according to the contract. There's some language in the contract that I'm really concerned about, in that we can't touch any of their equipment, but they can touch ours. There's provisions in there that they can sue. They can sue us, but we can't sue them. So we really need to be very, very careful about that contract, and I strongly think that we don't need it anyway, so let's just eliminate it altogether and let the county IT department handle it. I think that's the best way to do it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Griffith. Anybody else in the audience for public comment? Agenda items only? Anybody on the Zoom? Mr. Rabo?
Mr. Chairman, this is Mark Rabo of Hazelton speaking. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. With regards to the Broad Street Exchange Building, my question is this going to be a bid where any investor or any person with the means to buy the building can buy it? And also, is this going to be, are the liens going to be respected? I know that the county is a primary lien holder of about $1.3 or $1.4 million, but also the city of Hazelton is a secondary lien holder which is owed about, I think, about $290,000, if I'm not mistaken, from that building, from the lien on that building, that the county is the primary lien holder of. So I wanted to know if that would be respected once that building is sold to whoever the winning bidder is. Also, with regards to the Operations Service Division Head, I respect Michelle Sparish. I have great things to say about her grant writing ability and also her ability to procure grants and also in her time at the Community Development Office. But I don't know if she meets all the qualifications as an Operations Service Division Head entails for infrastructure. I think there would be a lot more credentials needed for that position, and as well as commensurate to the salary that's being offered. I don't know if that salary is commensurate with the credentials and experience necessary to run that division. I mean, if it was Administrative Services Division Head, that would be a different story altogether. But this is operational services, roads and bridges, building and grounds, all the county-owned properties. That's quite a task. So I think, Mr. Chairman, you and the council members need to do the due diligence to see if the salary is commensurate with the experience and the qualifications for that position. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Rabo. Anybody else for public comment? All right, hearing none. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the October 28th, 2025 voting session?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, minutes are adopted. Moving on to the agenda, number 1, motion to adopt the resolution approving the allocation of opioid settlement proceeds to Dr. Jeff Lewis.
So moved.
Second?
Motion and a second. Roll call?
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Ms. Krishnowski?
No.
Ms. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. Perry? No. Mr. Sabatino?
No.
Ms. Stevenson?
No.
Mr. Thornton?
No.
Mr. Wilovich?
Yes.
Mr. Lombardo?
No.
So we have 6 no and 3 yes, it fails.
All right, thank you.
I know we already voted on that, but I do have a question. I probably should have said on the question. With the amount of money that we have going out with the opioid, this money has to be spent by the end of the year, correct? It's always a fiscal year?
No.
No.
No? Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah, there are different dates for the different pots of money as we receive them. I'm not sure when this specific one, I think it's 20, yeah, it's in 26. What month? I can't remember the specific date for this particular pot of money. But June? Okay, June.
We have to June?
2026,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yep, okay. All
It
right,
doesn't have to be spent, it has to be allocated.
yes. Okay. All right, number 2, motion to adopt the ordinance amending the 2025 fiscal year budget for Luzerne County for the derivative payment.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call?
Ms. Krishnowski?
Yes.
Ms. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. Perry? Mr. Sabatino?
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson?
Yes.
Mr. Thornton?
Yes.
Mr. Wilovich?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mr. Lombardo?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Number 3, motion to adopt the ordinance establishing a county demolition and rehabilitation fund and imposing a fee to be collected by the Luzerne County Tax Claim Bureau or its agents from purchasers at sales under the real estate tax sale law and by the Luzerne County Sheriff from judicial sales in mortgage foreclosure actions.
So moved.
Second?
Motion and a second.
On the question?
Go ahead.
So I believe it was Controller Griffith who asked the question, or maybe it was Mark Rabo, but who it will be in charge of overseeing that fund account?
Manager Crocomo.
Says it in the title that it's going to be collected by our agents, and it will be budget and finance.
Thank you.
All right.
On the question, Mr. Chair?
Go ahead, Mr. House.
Yeah, like Mr. Rabo said before, I really supported this a few years ago in a form of this. Blight was a severe issue. It's still an issue today, and we had the Blighted Property Review Committee that was tasked with actually evaluating the properties that were blighted, and it was a record that followed due process with property rights, because even though a lot of these properties are derelict and they're the result of bad citizenship in many cases, it's still very important to value people's property rights. Everything we do hinges on that. So something like this, I enjoy the spirit of it, because people at that time were always wondering what can be done about these derelict properties that are really a problem in the neighborhoods. And that demolition fund would have had funds there, and through through the memorializing of the Blighted Property Review Committee, it had a process. And then we had the redevelopment authority could therefore take action. This, I don't think we have the process right now. I'm looking at what Brittany just asked about. Section 5, it's on page 28, everybody. Section 5, Section A. So the funds are collected by the Tax Bureau office, and then it's gonna be promptly deposited by the Luzerne County Treasurer. I like that. So the Treasurer's Department is tasked with putting this in an interest-bearing bank account. That makes a lot of sense. But then Section D down below, it says, this council, and I like that, I like the control of council, we are the elected body, it can approve funds deposited and maintained in the County Demolition Rehabilitation Fund by a nonprofit or a for-profit, by a cooperation as a contract with the county, with any tax industry, redevelopment authority, land bank, other government entity, anything like that. So it's very general, which I also like that. However, I see where this is gonna go. As far as I can tell, there's only one real entity that's gonna really utilize this, and that's the one up in the Pittston area, because a lot of these other redevelopment authorities are not doing this kind of work. Even in Wilkes-Barre City, they're not terribly active with their blighted properties. So my concern is that this is going to be a fund. I think Mark Rabo used the term slush fund. It's going to be just a lot of money that's going to accumulate, and then when something needs to be done, we'll tap into that. I just have a lot of questions about this. I agree with a lot of this in spirit. I think it is good. We do have to deal with blight, but our process is a little shaky at this point. I would prefer we really iron out the process. We don't even have a blighted property review committee that's functioning right now. We don't have that. So until we have something like that in place, I would say vote no on this.
If I can comment. Well, I extremely support this piece. I think this ordinance is fabulous. I was going to introduce it myself. It was definitely something I was already looking into, especially because our blighted committee has been inactive for so long. And I think the procedures that we currently have in place are not suitable for proper execution based on all of the parties that we have involved. But I believe that this helps us get to that phase of, one, being able to collect funds in advance to be able to handle that blighted property, but then being able to put steps in place to address that with the municipalities and have monies already there to handle that. That, to me, is leading to a tangible result. I think this is solid. I absolutely support it. I think, there are some details that I think we can figure out as it's implemented down the line, but I absolutely agree with this. And seeing that, hopefully I'll be here to continue with the Blighted Committee and get it active in this next year. I think this is a really great step forward.
Has the part been active at all, Brittany? Have you had any meetings or anything like that for that whatsoever? See, I mean, we don't just want to have money laying around. We really want to have a dedicated purpose for it. I would really encourage you to really, it's really difficult because as it's composed, there's specific individuals that can serve on that, and it takes a lot of work. And again, if we don't have this, it's just somebody else will use it. It will not be our Blighted Property Committee. And that's what this says here in Section D. Mr. Chair, thank you.
Right now, I think the Blighted Committee's process is terribly tedious to the point where there is no execution that can come out of that process. So my hope is actually to reshape what that Blighted Committee process looks like while we work with the necessary parties to make it easier to handle blight throughout the county. So while that will be a journey and we'll see what that looks like, I think there'll definitely be discussions we have forward. Councilman Hawes.
Mr. Chair, I suggest you call the question.
Okay, I mean, I had a comment I wanted to make, but okay, we can call the question. Okay, all right. Okay, all right, yeah, no, I just wanted to say I agree with some of what Ms. Stevenson said, and, I think that Mr. Haas mentioned the land bank in the greater Pittston area, and the reason why they're so active is because they are organized, and they do have a really good success rate at getting funding. Now, the other land banks in the area, we've given them money in the past, in the ARPA fund, and they have had some success, and I believe that if they had more access to funding, they'd be able to do more with their blighted properties as well. So I support this piece of legislation.
And
Go
the
ahead.
redevelopment authority of Pittston is willing to help anywhere in the county. It's not only for Pittston.
Right. What do you think? Mr. Sabatino?
And maybe we should explore having a land bank of our own to fill in the gaps in between.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
something I've definitely been working on, so looking forward to that.
Okay. All right. There's a motion and a second. Roll call?
Ms. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. Perry? Mr. Sabatino?
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson?
Yes.
Mr. Thornton?
Yes.
Mr. Wilovich?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Nope.
Ms. Krishnowski?
Yes.
Mr. Lombardo?
Yes.
We have 8 yes, 1 no. It
Thank-
passes.
Thank you. Number 4, motion to adopt the resolution approving the advertisement of a request for proposals for commercial real estate broker services related to marketing and sale of 54 West Union Street, Wilkes-Barre.
So moved.
Second?
Motion and a second. Roll call?
Mr. Perry? Are all the
Hold on. Okay, for 30, there is nothing blank in the resolution.
Okay,
No, there's nothing blank in the resolution.
okay, thank
Yep.
you, thank you.
Yep,
No,
nope,
we were
that's it.
talking about blanks.
That's in the next resolution. There's a council member is going to propose an amendment. but
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Perry? Mr. Sabatino?
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson?
Yes.
Mr. Thornton?
Yes.
Mr. Wilovich?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Ms. Krishnowski?
Yes.
Ms. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. Lombardo?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Number 5, motion to adopt the resolution approving the advertisement for bids for the auction and sale of 100 West Broad Street, Hazelton.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there,
On the question or
Go
an
ahead.
amendment
yes,
to the resolution, do we want to add a minimum bid? I would propose to have a minimum bid start at the appraised value.
okay,
I'll second.
The appraised value of 2.1 million.
okay.
I'll second.
All right, and where would that amendment be placed in the resolution?
Okay, so the 4th, whereas, given the interest expressed in the property, the county manager is recommending putting the property out for bid auction and sale in compliance with applicable and state law pertaining to the sale of the real property by a municipality, and minimum bid starting at 2.1 million.
Okay. Are we adding other language in it, such as? or
Well, I
best
had a
off?
question.
Okay.
Would it be more agreeable in the 5th whereas, as we agree with the county manager's recommendation, but at 2.1 million, or whatever the appraised value is?
At the, all right, so it would say, whereas Luzerne County Council agrees with the county manager's recommendation at a minimum starting bid of 2.1 million.
If, I mean, if land's okay with that, I think that would make more sense
Yes.
to put it there.
Yes, I'm fine with that.
Okay. All right, okay, there's a
I'll
motion.
second the amendment.
All right. Okay, there's a motion and a second. Roll call on the amendment.
Mr. Perry? Mr. Sabatino?
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson?
Yes.
Mr. Thornton?
Yes.
Mr. Wilovich?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Ms. Krishnowski?
Yes.
Ms. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. Lombardo?
Yes.
Unanimous.
All right. Yep. Go ahead, Attorney Skeen.
So in that wherefore, are we leaving in auction, or are we just going to have it as bid?
I would say remove auction.
Remove auction.
So,
From there and from now therefore.
It would just be in that 4th whereas paragraph? Oh, yeah, and the end one, correct.
So I motion to make that amendment?
Yeah, yes.
all right, removing the word auction in the 4th whereas and the therefore.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion and a second. Roll call on the second amendment.
Mr. Sabatino?
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson?
Yes.
Mr. Thornton?
Yes.
Mr. Wilovich?
Yes.
Mr. Haas?
Yes.
Ms. Krishnowski?
Yes.
Ms. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Lombardo?
Yes.
Unanimous.
All right, thank you. There's a motion and a second on the resolution. Is everyone okay with their motion and second as amended? Okay. Roll call on the amended resolution.
Ms. Stevenson?
Yes.
Mr. Thornton?
Yes.
Mr. Wilovich?
Yes.
Mr. Haas?
Yes.
Ms. Krishnowski?
Yes.
Ms. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. Perry? Mr. Sabatino?
Yes.
And Mr. Lombardo?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Thank you. Number 6, motion to adopt a resolution approving an agreement with Service Electric for exclusive broadcasting of county council meetings.
Motion?
Second.
There's a motion and a second.
On the question,
McDermott.
I'd like to make an amendment to the page 2 of 3 of the agreement.
Okay.
Number 7, to strike the existing wordage there and to replace it with, Service Electric will be able to place an advertisement at the bottom of the screen on the YouTube recordings alongside the Service Electric logo. The advertisement will say, "Experience Service Electric's streaming app. Call or go to sectv.com for more information."
Okay. Is there a second on that amendment?
Second.
All right, motion and a second. Roll call. You have the language for afterwards. Okay, just making sure.
Mr. Thornton?
This is on the amendment alone.
Yes.
I vote yes on the amendment.
Mr. Wilovich?
Yes.
Mr. Haas?
Yes.
Ms. Krishnowski?
Yes.
Ms. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Sabatino?
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson?
Yes.
Mr. Lombardo?
Yes.
Unanimous.
All right, thank you. On the question, I agree with what Mr. Griffith said during his public comment. I don't think this is a service that is necessarily serving us any longer. We have the ability through our IT department to do all of these things. And again, when we initiated this contract with Service Electric, it was prior to being able to do all these broadcasting abilities that we have. So, while I appreciate their willingness to, come up with a little bit of a compromise with us, I just think that it would be better to do this in-house and, have complete and total authority over our own social media pages and whatnot, and that's something maybe we should even talk about expanding in the future. Mr. Haas, then Mr. Wilovich.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Mr. Lombardo. I was thinking of that as well, and I really appreciate Service Electric. It's a local business. They treat the community really well. A lot of people I run into say they watch us on Service Electric. I'm sure you all experience the same thing. So I agree with what you said, John, about having this with
No. I haven't met anyone who's had that experience.
well, I have, and I just think it's a service. Any way we can get the word out, I think is a positive thing. I was thinking perhaps a compromise would be to get rid of the exclusive language in this, because, Romilda goes down she's on the Sam Lissant show down in South County, which I think is a very valuable thing too, to communicate what's going on with the council and with county business and the management. So I was thinking instead of having the exclusive broadcasting rights, why don't we just have if you look even at the title on page 35, a resolution of Luzerne County Council approving an agreement with Service Electric for the broadcasting of county council meetings. And then there are about 4 or 5 other exclusives in this. I would just propose to delete them. So if you look at the second whereas Luzerne County Council desires to enter into a broadcasting agreement with Service Electric for the delete exclusive, and just retain for the broadcasting of council meetings, yada, yada, yada. The third one, now therefore be it resolved. I've authorized the county manager to execute a broadcast agreement with Service Electric for broadcasting rights. Just delete that exclusive there. If you follow me, everybody, on page 33, with the agreement itself, strike exclusive out of the first paragraph. Express the mutual desire to enter into and delete exclusive, and get rid of the and a broadcast agreement. And then number 4, delete exclusive nature of the, and I think that is it, what I was looking at. So again, if you look at the language, the county can exit this agreement at any time, so can Service Electric, but I think any way that it gets word out to people, I think it's a positive thing. And I appreciate Service Electric for doing this for many years. You know, that's my amendment, Mr. Chair, to delete
I'll
those four
second them.
exclusives.
All right, there's a motion and a second on the amendment to delete the exclusivity of the agreement and the verbiage that indicates that.
Delete the 5 exclusive. Yes,
Five
that's right.
exclusives. And there's a second. Roll call.
Mr. Wilovich,
I don't think Service Electric would agree to it if we did that, so I'm voting no.
Mr. Hawes,
Yes.
Ms. Krishnowski,
Yes.
Ms. McDermott,
Yes?
Mr. Perry? Yes. Mr. Sabatino,
No.
Ms. Stevenson,
I'm going to vote no, just because I believe the county can provide for itself at this time.
Mr. Thornton,
I agree with Ms. Stevenson. I'm going to vote no for the same reason.
Mr. Lombardo,
I'll vote yes on this amendment.
here we have 5 yes and 4 no, it passes.
Okay. All right. Okay, is everyone, Mr. Wilovich, go ahead. I apologize.
Yes, thank you. Again, I appreciate Service Electric, but again, I don't even believe they cover close to half the county, so I don't think this is making much sense.
Okay. All right. Okay, there's a motion and a second on the resolution. Roll call.
Mr. Haas,
Yes.
Ms. Krishnowski,
Yes.
Ms. McDermott,
Yes.
Mr. Perry? Yes. Mr. Sabatino,
No.
Ms. Stevenson,
No.
Mr. Thornton,
No.
Mr. Wilovich?
No.
Mr. Lombardo?
No.
So we have 4 yes and 5 no, fails.
Okay. Thank you. Number 7, motion to introduce ordinance amending the Luzerne County zoning map to rezone one parcel of property totaling 2.29 acres in Newport Township from MI Mining District Zone to R2 Two-Family Residence District Zone. Is it an automatic introduction?
I'll be making that motion to introduce.
Okay.
I will be making that motion to introduce the ordinance.
Okay. Any questions? All right, thank you. Number 8, motion to adopt the resolution approving the allocation of opioid settlement proceeds to Pathway to Recovery Counseling and Educational Services.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call.
Ms. Krishnowski,
Yes.
Ms. McDermott,
Yes.
Mr. Perry? Yes. Mr. Sabatino,
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson,
Yes.
Mr. Thornton,
Yes.
Mr. Wilovich?
Yes.
Mr. Haas?
Yes.
Mr. Lombardo?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Number 9, motion to adopt the resolution approving the allocation of opioid settlement proceeds to Wyoming Valley Behavioral Health.
So moved.
Okay, hold on.
Second?
Brittany
Okay,
and I think Greg.
okay.
Okay. Motion and a second. Roll call.
Ms. McDermott,
Yes.
Mr. Perry? Yes. Mr. Sabatino,
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson,
Yes.
Mr. Thornton,
Yes.
Mr. Wilovich?
Yes.
Mr. Haas?
Yes.
Ms. Krishnowski,
Yes.
Mr. Lombardo?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Number 10, motion to adopt the resolution approving a modification to an American Rescue Plan Act funds awarded project for the Swoyersville Parks and Recreation Board.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call.
Mr. Perry? Yes. Mr. Sabatino,
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson,
Yes.
Mr. Thornton,
Yes.
Mr. Wilovich?
Yes.
Mr. Haas?
Yes.
Ms. Krishnowski,
Yes.
Ms. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. Lombardo?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Number 11, motion to adopt the resolution approving a modification to an American Rescue Plan Act funds awarded project for the City of Pittston / Greater Pittston Regional Ambulance.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call.
Mr. Sabatino,
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson,
Yes.
Mr. Thornton,
Yes.
Mr. Wilovich?
Yes.
Mr. Haas?
Yes.
Ms. Krishnowski,
Yes.
Ms. McDermott,
Yes.
Mr. Perry? Yes. Mr. Lombardo?
I abstain. I'm an employee of the City of Pittston.
So we have 8 yes with 1 abstention, it passes.
Thank you. Number 12, motion to adopt the resolution approving a modification to an American Rescue Plan Act funds awarded project for the City of Hazleton.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call.
Ms. Stevenson,
Yes.
Mr. Thornton?
Yes.
Mr. Wilovich?
Yes.
Mr. Haas?
Yes.
Ms. Krasinski?
Yes.
Ms. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. Perry? Yes. Mr. Sabatino?
Yes.
Mr. Lombardo?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Number 13, motion to adopt the resolution confirming the appointment of the Division Head of Operational Services.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second.
Who was the second?
I don't know. Ms. Krishnowski, I think. Okay.
Okay.
All right, motion and a second. Roll call.
Mr. Chair, do
Go
we
ahead.
have to name the person and the salary?
The salary listed in the resolution. It is Michelle Sparich, and the salary is $98,800 per year, plus benefits.
Thank you.
There's a motion and a second. Roll call.
Mr. Thornton?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Haas?
Yes.
Ms. Krasinski?
Yes.
Ms. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. Perry? Yes. Mr. Sabatino?
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson?
Yes.
Mr. Lombardo?
Absolutely yes. Congratulations, Ms. Sparich.
It is an honor to have you with the county, Michelle Sparich.
Chairman Lombardo, may I make a-
Absolutely.
Thank you, and bear with me. Normally, I just say welcome to the jungle, but Michelle has been in the jungle a very long time. But I do want to offer a few words to express my heartfelt gratitude and admiration for an exceptional individual who has been a cornerstone of our community, Michelle Sparich, and I want to thank council for their overwhelming support. We often reflect on our progress and envision our future, and it's important to recognize and acknowledge the invaluable contribution Michelle has made in moving our county forward over the decades. For years, Michelle has been a beacon of innovation and intelligence. Her ability to think creatively and strategically has not only inspired those around her, but has also driven significant advances in our county. Whether tackling complex challenges, working in the county manager's office, or envisioning new initiatives, Michelle approaches every task with a keen insight that demonstrates her deep understanding of our community needs. What sets Michelle apart is her unwavering commitment to leading by example. She embodies the values we hold dear: integrity, dedication, and service. Her work has not only transformed policies and programs, but has also fostered a sense of unity and purpose among us all. We all have seen firsthand how her leadership galvanizes teams, encouraging collaboration and a shared vision for a brighter future. Michelle, I want you to know that you are not just a colleague, you are a trusted partner in this journey. I count on you, and I know that the entire county does as well. Your passion for our community and your relentless pursuit of excellence inspires me to strive for more. So as we look ahead, let us continue to support Michelle and the vital work she does. Together with her guidance, we can overcome any obstacle and seize the opportunities that lie ahead. Thank you, Michelle, for your remarkable contributions to Luzerne County and for being a guiding light. We are truly lucky to have you on board, and I'm excited about the future we will build together.
Congratulations again, Ms. Sparich. Did you want to say a few words? Okay. All right. Okay. I figured I'd offer. Okay. If there's nothing further, we'll now have public comment on non-agenda items. I have a couple slips up here. First, Mr. Griffith.
First of all, welcome, Michelle. I've had the opportunity to work with her over the past 4 years, and she is truly a remarkable person in grants as well as what she's doing now. So I wish her well. I think she'll do a very, very good job. Under my non-agenda items, I looked on the website and I could not find the proposed budget, 2026 proposed budget, or the proposed position budget. Now, I don't know if they're out there. Everywhere I looked, I could not find it. But if the county manager could direct me somewhere, or budget and finance as to where it is on the website, I might be in error thinking it's not posted. But if it's not, if we could get that up there for the public, that would be helpful. At our last council meeting, there was a increase in the director of elections pay from $64,999 to $77,000. That's a very large increase of like $12,000 for that one individual. And the deputy chief clerk is getting a 20% raise from $15,000 to $35,000, from a $15,000 raise from $35,000 to $50,000. Yet the deputy director is only getting 2.5%. Everybody in this county pretty much is a non-union person is getting 2.5%. These particular people are getting a large increase, and I think council should consider that when you look at a budget, is that, and I'm not minimizing the work that's involved, I'm just saying how fair it would be to other county employees that are not getting that sizable increase. So if council could look at that when they make corrections to the budget, if you feel that that's warranted, certainly that's within your purview, and I would certainly respect that. If it's not, and you need to think you could take that back, you could certainly do that as well. But just something for council to be aware. I don't know if that was really clear when the budget presentation was made, so I just want council to be aware. There was also an increase of 2.5% for the tax collectors. 70 tax collectors got a tax increase. They did not get an increase in their pay. So I don't know if that's something the council should look at as well under the tax collector salaries for elected officials, that there was an automatic 2.5%, and I think that might have been just something that's in the spreadsheet that just gave it 2.5% across the board for non-elected or non-union employees. So just take a look at that. That could be a savings of $53,000 for the county, if you take a look at that, because there was no increase granted to the tax collectors for the next 4 years. I strongly urge council to, under the district attorney, is to question the LEO officer salary. I don't think that's something that we should allow to happen without a contract by this council. You guys approved that process. We don't have a contract with them. I'm not saying whether that process is something, whether we should have LEOs or not. I'm saying that there's a process. Council needs to approve and move that forward. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Griffith. Anybody else public comment in the oh, I'm sorry, I have other slips up here. Mike Tedesco? Yeah.
Good evening. So I just want to give you a little bit my background over the last almost 40 years. I'm not from Luzerne County. I'm actually from Pittsburgh, and I apologize for last night's debacle. But that being said, I moved here in '87 as an obstetrician in the area, and I probably delivered about 10,000 babies in the area. So I know very closely what's taken place when I started at Nesbitt, then Wilkes-Barre General Hospital, some time at Mercy Hospital, back to Wilkes-Barre General Hospital. And I was around at the time when CHS came in and made us lots of promises. And it was an exciting time. And I think some of those things they went through with. But I will tell you that, and again, as being here for a long time, I've seen the amount of services that we had diminish. You know, most notably with myself, the elimination of obstetrics. Now, whether that was the right move or wrong move, I can't debate that. I was finishing my practice at the time, it didn't really affect me. But we've seen this diminishment of services. And then we come to the present time with the sale of the 3 hospitals and whether that's the right thing or the wrong thing, and I can't answer that. I don't know Tanner Health well enough. But I do know that right now, CHS does not want to be in Pennsylvania. For whatever reason, you know, many, many years ago when this took place in 2015, whatever the year was, they expanded. And for their reasons, they decided that was the mistake, and they've divested quite a few hospitals. And, you know, that's what they're trying to do now with ours. If this sale doesn't go through, we have no one else that I'm aware of that's saying, oh, we'll back this up. being here with OB, when OB stopped, I can tell you, the community needs Wilkes-Barre General Hospital. We can't let this hospital go down. I couldn't find places for my patients to be seen in obstetrics when we lost it. You know, that being said, again, Tanner Health, I met them shortly last week. They came in. I was cautiously optimistic that when they came in, they presented things that made me believe that this wasn't something coming in just to try to run these hospitals into the ground, but they had a vision of bringing back services to support this hospital, not only to support it, to help it grow. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, next up, we have Michael Clark.
Mr. Chairman, may I request that you allow Mrs. Sabatali, who is head of Tanner Health, and some of my other members from the hospital to come in the chamber?
Certainly. Sir, if you are going to be, speaking on this presentation that will be made, you could certainly have as much time as you want at that time. This is, essentially public.
Sabatali will speak on the presentation. I'm speaking on behalf of Tanner.
Okay. I mean, I think you can. I'd be okay with it if you wanted to speak during the time of the presentation instead of just having the 3 minutes of public comment.
All right.
It's up to you.
Again, may we invite them in to the chamber?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, certainly. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. No, there's more, I think, coming in. Mr. Clark, are you intending to speak for an extended period of time, or
I'll do the abbreviated and
Well,
Mrs. Sabatali and.
we'll give you an opportunity to speak during? Want to make sure you're speaking at the right in the
Okay.
right time period, if that's okay.
That'd be fine.
Okay. All right. Thank you. We'll have you come up and speak during the presentation, then, if that's okay. Okay. We also have Patrick Conaboy.
Excuse me 1 minute.
Okay.
I need this to hear and this to see. Sorry about that. Hi, I'm Dr. Patrick Conaboy. I'm a family practitioner who's been in Northeast Pennsylvania for over 30 years. I was the Chief Medical Information Officer at Wilkes-Barre General Hospital for 3 years, and I have been the Chief Medical Officer at Regional Hospital in Scranton now for 8 years. I'd like to speak briefly about the hospital matter and ask your support for the municipal bonds for the organization. I realize that there are only a few major barriers to asking you to do this. First is, and probably primarily, the loss of tax revenue. Secondly would be the workability of the plan and management. And finally, can we integrate and succeed for Wilkes-Barre and Scranton? To start with, let's talk about the tax revenue. There is no way that anybody is going to be able to replace that. That's the reality of the world. However, when weighing that, one of the things that people think about is that, well, if this goes away, Wilkes-Barre General Hospital will continue on the tax rolls and everything will be fine. And I'm here to tell you that's not true. CHS will not continue with Wilkes-Barre General Hospital beyond 2027. A couple things I can show you to prove you this. For those who have never seen it, this is the stock price of CHS over the last 10 years. When they came to Northeast Pennsylvania and bought our hospitals, they bought 8 hospitals. They had 202 hospitals at that time. They had a stock price of $63 a share. Now, approximately 12 years later, they're $3 and change a share. As of this week, they have 63 hospitals. Of the 8 in Pennsylvania, there are 3 left. They have sold Wilkes-Barre General Hospital and Regional Hospital for a song twice. I have to tell you, again, I don't know everything about high finance, but I do know if you come home twice in 1 year and your wife has put your luggage out on the sidewalks, your relationship isn't going to go for very long. And so, yes, regional hospital will close sooner, but Wilkes-Barre General will soon follow. It's just the reality of how the world is going. So what could we do instead of the tax loss? At some point, obviously, there are some payments that can be made, but in the first year, we're coming here looking for money. So this saying, well, we're going to give you back money is like your kid's getting $50 to buy you a Christmas present. It just doesn't really make sense for the first year. But there are other things a hospital can do. We can support your EMS workers. We can make sure that your emergency medicine folks and your fire department, et cetera, can get x-rays, blood work, et cetera, for free. We can support your free clinics, and we can support a lot of other things within the city.
All right, Dr. Conboy, your time is up for the public comment session, but if you'd like to come back up and continue speaking when the presentation is occurring, happy to have you speak at length, okay?
That was at length.
Okay, all right, well, extending the offer. All right, is there anybody else in the audience for public comment? Okay, the Zoom, we have a hand up, Mr. Rabo.
Mr. Chairman, this is Mark Rabo of Hazleton speaking. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I'd like to make the council people like yourself and Ms. Stevenson aware of the fact that under the Blighted Property Committee is set by state law. As the county manager in her previous iteration as chief county solicitor could attest to, that under section 12.1B of the redevelopment law, that is, the process is established the way it is because, not only because the statute itself spells it out, is also because of 12 state Supreme Court rulings in the past, going back to, I believe it's the 1920s till present day. So unless Ms. Stevenson wants to run for state representative out of Wilkes-Barre, you can't change that process, or state senator, whichever one. So I just wanted to make that edification aware for you yourself and her and anybody else on council. And also, as you know, Mr. Chairman, the land banks are only for tax delinquent properties, not for vacant and derelict properties that are owner occupied. So that's why you have a blighted property committee. So I just wanted to make that distinction clear. Also, the district attorney is going to make his budget presentation. I wanted to ask the question, you could convey the question to him about the security for the TSA security fee for the 9/11, the September 11th fee for the LEOs. If him and the county manager are going to apply for that fee. And also, Mr. Chairman, and I don't want to bring this Tuesday's election up, but there was a problem as far as out-of-state PACs. I wasn't here at the last meeting. Out-of-state PACs, Mr. Chairman, and Mr. Skeen, I would like to make him aware of this too, that, and the district attorney probably knows this previously, that out-of-state PACs must be registered with the Luzerne County Board of Elections, or with the Department of State under campaign finance reporting law. Now, I checked these out-of-state PACs when I had got these flyers in the mail, and I checked, and they did not register, Mr. Chairman. So yourself, the vice chairman, or any other candidate that was aggrieved can file a complaint or with the district attorney or the state attorney general's office for violation of the campaign finance reporting law by these out-of-state PACs. And maybe you might want to take that matter up into consideration.
Okay,
And
thank
one
you,
last
Mr.
thing,
Rabo.
Mr. Chairman,
Thank
happy
you, Mr.
birthday
Rabo.
to the United States Marine Corps 250th birthday. Hoorah.
Thank you, Mr. Rabo. Anybody else? Is there a motion to adjourn? All in favor? Opposed? All right, meeting's adjourned at 6:55. We're going to restart in 5 minutes at 7 o'clock with the work session, if that's okay.
Just keep doing your thing. Get Michelle. Can I photobomb that?
Yeah, there's a pulse. There's a pulse. Relax.
Like we used to say in the corner shop where the guys stand on the risers, look alive, both with the quarters walking by. Look alive. Good listeners, listen for you. Look alive.
I get the picture happens the second after I hit it. Very nice. You guys have your well, we can sit down there. I didn't know it would be much nicer.
Good to see you. Good, how's it going, sir?
Yourself.
Still standing.
Okay, council members, please take your seats. We're going to get restarted here with the work session. Okay, everybody, it's 7:03 p.m. I'd like to call the work session to order. We already had the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. Roll call, please, Ms. Lawrence.
Mr. Haas.
Here.
Ms. Krishnowski.
Here.
Mr. Lescavage. Ms. McDermott. Here. Mr. Perry. Mr. Sabatino.
Here.
Ms. Smith. Ms. Stevenson.
Here.
Mr. Thornton.
Here.
Mr. Wilovich.
Here.
Mr. Lombardo.
Here.
9 of 11.
Thank you. Any additions or deletions from the work session agenda? Is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Agenda's adopted. First up, division reports. Manager Kokomo.
I'm sorry, I have to say, is there a doctor in the house? I couldn't resist, I'm sorry. And I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express, so I can pretend I'm a doctor. A few things before I discussed the division report. Just want to inform council that we purchased a brand-new Polygon for this room, and we have a new 4K camera. IT informed me earlier today. So we're sprucing the council chamber up. The budget was attached to the agenda submittal in October when it was presented. When the budget is finally passed, we will put it on directly, a link on our website. But if you go to the agenda portion on the council website, you will see the budget and the position list. Also, with the tax collectors were not budgeted with merit increases. They were increased based on trending payments. More bills collected equal more payments at $2.60. I submitted the division report, and as always, if there are questions or concerns, you can call, email me, or text me.
All right, thank you. Any questions for Manager Kokomo? All right, thank you very much. Next up, discussion regarding the resolution approving the sale of certain parcels of property held in repository by Elite Revenue Solutions, LLC, acting as the Luzerne County Tax Claim Bureau. Any discussion? Anything? Anyone? Okay. Thank you.
Well, I mean, I always ask, Mr. Chair, if I could, just are all the utilities paid for? Do they, and any municipalities have any issues with this, with anything on the list? I don't know
I don't
about those.
any.
They do check, and
Yeah.
if there are any reports, they would let us know.
Okay. All right, anything else on number 2? All right. Hospital purchase presentation. I know there's several speakers that are going to be coming up here, so please just, when you do come up to speak, just state your name and, what entity you're representing.
Good evening. My name is Attorney Peter Moses. I'm here on behalf of the Northeastern Pennsylvania Hospital and Education Authority. That authority was created by Luzerne County. I am here because I'm the individual that asked for this matter to be placed on the agenda. I will be very brief. On October the 29th, the Hospital Authority had a publicly advertised meeting. At that meeting, individuals from Tenor Health presented to us in asking us to act as the conduit for them to receive tax-free bonds for funding. Our role as the hospital authority is to basically check 4 boxes. The first is, are you a not-for-profit? The second is, if you're in front of our authority, are you a hospital? The third is, are you within the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, because our jurisdiction is for the entire Commonwealth. And then the fourth box is whether or not the hospital authority and the county are indemnified by the bond documents and the resolutions. After their presentation and after my review of the resolutions and the documents, the authority unanimously approved the project. However, that's not where it ends. As many of you know, we are then required to have a TEFRA hearing, which was publicly advertised and held in this room earlier today. The TEFRA hearing gives the public an opportunity to come and either object or voice concerns. I can tell you that no one attended the TEFRA hearing other than Tom McGrath, who was a member of my authority, Rada Salvatale, who is the CEO of Tenor, and myself. And the minutes for that will be prepared once I can prepare them, but that happened earlier today. So the resolution before you is the last step in the hospital authority process, and that last step is to inform you that the hospital authority voted, to inform you that we had a TEFRA hearing, and then to present you with a resolution to determine whether or not, by using the hospital authority as a conduit for the tax-free bonds, whether or not it is a detriment to the health, safety, and welfare of the community that it impacts. Traditionally, projects that involve schools or hospitals don't raise concerns that they are a detriment for the health, safety, and welfare of the community. In fact, they're usually the opposite, because they usually increase the health, safety, and welfare of the community. But that is the resolution before the council that we would like you to entertain on, I believe, November 25th, which is the next time you meet. That's all I have from the authority, unless you have questions about the authority or its role. And then I believe Bart Plank would like to address you about the financing and how the funding works. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Attorney Moses.
Thank you. As Peter said, my name is Bart Plank. I'm a managing director and the head of healthcare public finance at Cain Brothers, which is a division of Key Bank. I've worked in the financing of not-for-profit healthcare facilities since 1997. We've been working on behalf of Tenor to achieve a funding goal for the transaction. We have a single lender identified who is prepared to purchase both the tax-exempt and taxable bonds that we hope will be approved through the authority. Our team has been working with multiple law firms which are needed to effect the tax-exempt financing and in preparation to try and close the transaction by December 1st. And the lender who will be providing the financing is a firm called Wilkes-Barre. They were founded in 2008. They specialize in public finance. They have done a significant amount of healthcare lending over their span and have done over $6 billion of lending in the municipal space since their founding. They're uniquely positioned to support this transaction as a lender. People may be aware that the prior financing efforts from a previous buyer were not able to be consummated to fund that transaction. We have a bit of a different scenario here in that we're not going out and searching for a lender. The lender is ready to go. We just need our approvals and our documentation in place, along with all the regulatory and other filings that have to take place in order for the sale transaction to take place as well. So I'll pause there for any questions you might have for me.
Mr. Haas.
Hey, Mr. Blank, welcome to Wilkes-Barre. What's the name of the lender again? Could you share?
Rosemar, Rosemawr, Asset Management.
Is that out of Philadelphia? This looks like a Philadelphia name.
No, they're in New York and Florida.
Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Any other questions? All right, go ahead, sir.
So I think we're going to bring up Radha Savatala, who's the CEO of Tenor, to talk more about the transaction.
All right, fantastic.
Good evening, council members. Thank you for your time this evening. Thank you for all of the members who are here in this room. We appreciate the opportunity to be before you to present not only Tenor but the transaction and what the acquisition looks like, as well as how we move forward from here. Next slide, please. I was told to say that, by the way.
That's okay. Yeah, it's not showing up on the TV.
Thank you. Tenor Health Foundation was established to own and operate hospitals that are financially struggling so that we can ensure access to healthcare in communities where there is a risk of either competition or hospitals shutting down. We identify hospitals that have opportunities for improvement, either revenue cycle, operationally, and on the expense side. We look at metrics in terms of salaries, benefits, professional services, whether there are specialties that appropriately support the community needs, as well as other operational metrics such as supply chain. We look at IT services. There's a lot that goes into hospital operations, but we look at these departments specifically with the notion of how do we sustain the hospitals for long-term viability. Our hospital management team, and I have a few listed here, collectively have over 100 years of experience. Next slide, please. A little bit of background on myself. I'm a healthcare attorney by training. I have worked on over 40 acute care hospital acquisitions. On top of that, I have medical group acquisition experience. I've done real estate finance. I've really learned through the transition teams that I have worked with. This includes market CEOs, CFOs, HR, IT, radiology. I mean, you name the department, I have worked with them in the past to ensure, again, that we look at department by department, how to ensure that the hospitals become viable. We also have Butch Evanson, who is Chief Administrative Officer. Next slide, please. He has experience in working as a CFO in hospitals as well as a CEO. Prior to coming to Tenor, he did work with Ovation Health, which was a division under Quorum Health, and it was their advisory services arm, and that has since been divested. Butch has been working for Tenor for the past year, not only as a consultant prior to that in looking at acquisition opportunities, but since the acquisition of Sharon Regional, which we'll talk about here shortly. Next slide. We also have Michael Bogert, who is a CFO for Tenor. Michael has worked with various health systems in Southern California. He also has worked with PricewaterhouseCoopers previously. We have Tarun Lal, who is helping out with operations. Tarun has worked with multiple consulting agencies in terms of analytics and solutions.
Mr. Chair, I'm sorry to interrupt, but the audio is no longer coming across.
Is the, okay, sorry, Mr. Thornton, I think that the microphone might have shut itself off. Can you just press the button? It'll turn back on.
Okay.
There we go.
All good. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Tenor Health Foundation recently, next slide, please. Recently acquired Sharon Regional Medical Center, which is in northwestern PA. It was a hospital that was closed by the bankruptcy for Steward Healthcare. That hospital closed earlier in January of this year. We acquired the transaction through the bankruptcy court, received the necessary approvals, and reopened the hospital in March of this year. And then in April of this year, we opened up some of the hospital-based operations as well as the surgery centers, the surgical services. At this time, we brought back all of the major services that the hospital had prior to the closure. We are awaiting the Department of Health to approve our waiver request for the cath lab. Once that is reopened, right now we're doing diagnostics, but once that is reopened, we'll be able to do we'll be able to fully reopen the cath lab. Essentially, that's what that means. We've contracted with all of the major payers in the region. Because of the uniqueness of that acquisition, we were not able to assume any of the prior contracts, and so we had to reach out to each and every single plan to renegotiate all of the rates. We negotiated every single contract for the hospital, actually. That was over 200 contracts in and of itself, and even though it was only a 2-month period in which the hospital was closed, the vendors in some cases took weeks and or months to renegotiate the agreements, and it's not an easy task to reopen a hospital, even though it's just been shut down for 2 months, but we were able to accomplish that. A little bit about the transaction history for the hospitals here, which include Wilkes-Barre General Hospital, Regional Hospital of Scranton and Moses Taylor Hospital. Moses Taylor Hospital and Regional Hospital of Scranton operate off of the same license, so collectively we refer to that hospital as Regional Hospital of Scranton or Regional. We are acquiring all of the hospitals as well as the physician practices, ambulatory surgery centers, as well as the real estate from Community Health Systems, also known as CHS. We will hire substantially all of the employees that are in good standing at the time of the closing, and we are aiming to close the transaction here in December of this year. Next slide. Bart Plank, who you heard from Kane Brothers speak, spoke about the Series 2025 bonds, so I'm not going to go to that slide. Next slide, please. We have a lot of goals in light of this transaction here. What Tenor brings to the table is the fact that this asset now becomes a community asset, which means that we will have a community board that has an input, that will have transparency into the operations, into the financials of the hospital as well. And then Tenor also has visibility in the community because we will bring members of the team here. In fact, since the transaction has been announced, we've had our team members here consistently. What we have learned through the various meetings that we've had with the CMOs, with the directors, is that there's a lack of recruitment into these facilities. The specialties just have not been replaced as, people have left or moved out of the area. The service lines and the community needs have not been replaced. Equipment, physical plant improvements. One thing when I do meet with members of the community is how they keep asking for better quality within the hospital and outcomes, as well as more community engagement. And I truly believe that we will bring these resources to the table. We do believe in physician engagement and recruitment. If we're going to have members of the community come to the hospital, we really have to show that we have the ability to invest and improve the equipment, physical plant, but also improve the inequities of our employees. So, like I mentioned, every aspect of the hospital operations is being looked at and reviewed, and we will do what is right for this hospital and for this community. I will stop there.
Council members, any questions as of right now? Anybody? Okay. All right. Are there other representatives here that would like to come up and speak? Mr. Clark. Is the mic on? No, it's not on. You want to hold it in? Should turn back on. There we go. Okay.
This might come as a shock to you. I am not originally from Pennsylvania. But I've lived a good bit of my life all over the eastern seaboard and across the states of the South. I was brought here earlier this year in March to assist this hospital. I was a contractor for CHS. I became quite enthralled with the staff and the physicians that run this hospital, to the point that my wife and I are making this our home so that we can continue to make certain that the hospital will move forward and that we can carry forward with the traditions. Wilkes-Barre General has a rich history. They have, remarkable things have happened over the years, but that is the past. Wilkes-Barre, while still profitable, faces quite a bit of strong headwinds, and those come from some of the things that were already mentioned with physician recruitment. Everybody across the United States is
There you go.
you have to stand out and be different so that you can attract folks. You have to follow people through medical school that are from the area. That's your best source of finding people that want to be here. We have struggled with keeping top-notch staff because we have a huge competitor in our market. And we have not always had the flexibility to address some of the salary inequities that they're able to simply offer so much more money at a snap of the fingers than we are through our systems. So we look forward to the time that,
Do we have another set of batteries for the microphone back there? Sorry, this happens like at almost every meeting. So. No, please don't.
I could just talk louder.
Well,
Maybe Mr. Sabatino could hand his microphone to the gentleman.
yeah,
Can we do that?
yeah, if you just want to hold it.
Yeah.
All right, so in working through the efforts to acquire the hospitals with Tenor Health, they've been very open. They've been, sharing their passion, sharing the needs that what they see that the hospital has needs. And as it was touched on, we have everything from equipment needs to infrastructure needs. We have a very old hospital plant that ages from hundreds of years old up to the most recent additions were in the 90s. But we have needs for replacement equipment. Now, I won't say anything disparaging again about community health systems, but they have let it be known that they no longer want to own hospitals in Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. Pennsylvania is a difficult place to operate due to many things. Regulatory agencies are difficult to work with, other opportunities for staff and those challenges. So CHS has said they don't want to be here, so therefore they've been very stringent when we're needing capital or when we're needing raises or when we need to do additional recruitment. I feel very confident that with Tenor, they will look at that and they will make the right choices, that they'll support this hospital and this hospital can continue to flourish. Some of the other challenges we've had with CHS is they made a decision corporate-wide to sell all the outpatient lab services to LabCorp. So these hospitals will no longer be able to offer standard outpatient labs. A lot of exclusions. If it's for surgery, yes, we get to do that. If you have an x-ray and a lab, we get to do that. But this is about a $5 million hit to our earnings over the next years. So those type of challenges make it necessary that we find new infusions, that we bring forward new ideas and other opportunities that will keep us vigilant in caring for our communities. And I believe that Tenor is a good choice to do that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And then that microphone works again. Any questions, council members? Ms. Stevenson?
Yes. So what exactly is the Tenor Health Foundation's ask of Luzerne County?
Just make sure to turn the microphone back on, because I don't think it's on.
Would you like me to answer that as from the bond perspective? So the ask is zero. They want the opportunity to sell bonds in the open market to fund it. The only way they could get tax-free municipal bonds is by utilizing a municipal authority. So they utilized us as a municipal authority, and now we just have to make sure that the usage of us as a municipal authority doesn't detrimentally impact the community. So there's no check or money coming from the county.
Mr. Haas.
Yeah, Mr. Moses, while you're still up there, I think this is a question directed to you as well. During the last attempt at an acquisition, that entity wanted to take over some neighboring houses in the neighborhood. Are we looking at anything like, or is that Ms. Savatilla?
They'll know more about that than I will, because our authority wasn't utilized. I believe they
For that
attempted to
area.
utilize the Wilkes-Barre Redevelopment Authority, and then the plan kind of just sank for a number of reasons, including but not limited to the fact that I think they weren't able to get financing.
Okay, correct, so that plan's, that's kind of nebulous at this point? We're not looking at increasing the footprint of the hospital?
I think it just involves the properties owned by CHS, but I'll let
That's correct. We're looking to acquire the properties that are associated with Commonwealth Health currently.
I'm sure you're very aware of, we were concerned, what this body is concerned with is the loss of tax revenue. We definitely want to see services for our people. Without a doubt, that's the top priority. However, that always comes, the boogeyman is always, how do you pay for everything? And so I think for me, it makes it a little more palatable knowing that we're not going to say goodbye to that extra revenue if that's not in the plans. So we can continue the dialogue
Again,
about the regular transaction.
We are only taking over the CHS.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Mr. Sabatino?
What other municipalities have you guys approached before us? None? Okay.
The previous entity wasn't Tenor. The previous entity was, I believe their name was Woodbridge. Yes, this is,
But you've not approached any other, Tenor has not approached any other municipality prior to us? No. Okay.
Okay, Mr. Haas.
And I think this one's for Dr. Clark, if I could. So Dr. Clark, how does, Mr. Clark, how does Tenor plan to increase physician salary? It seems like that's a real commanding issue here with where we're headed in the hospital industry in the Northeast.
We're already positioned very well for physician recruitment. The shortage or the delta that I was speaking of is with key staff in the hospital, such as CT techs and cardiac catheterization techs, where we've lost those folks simply because we were outbid and didn't have the flexibility to answer back. We are very well positioned on the physician salaries. Generally, the approach is that we provide the full benefits, full salary for the first year, year and a half, and then there's a shared metrics where they earn some of their own by staying busy and growing their practices, and that becomes beneficial to both parties.
So we're just anticipating growth, and is the answer to the question. How about
Yes.
how we meet that balance?
Yes. Over the last 3 years, we have probably lost a dozen to 15 primary care physicians that have not been replaced. Some of those were retirements. Some of those were attracted to work elsewhere. So that's one of the most critical needs we have, is to rebuild our primary care foundation. We have a lot of specialists that need their support as well.
And you also mentioned about the lab services. So those that have been outsourced, they're not coming back because they've been sold, correct? They're not leased. That's been terminated, that function, basically.
As of December 1st, we will not be offering traditional straight outpatient lab. That was sold as a corporate decision, and it's challenging. We will do the best we can. One of the benefits is the Scranton regional market was not included in that sale, so there's opportunities there to possibly redirect some business from them.
It's not going to help out General Hospital, obviously, so.
Not to the extent that we had in the past,
Yeah.
no.
Very good. All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Any other questions? Council members? Mr. Sabatino?
Is Tenor interested in doing a pilot program? Obviously, as the gentleman in public comment earlier said, maybe not in the first year, but is there an opportunity for us to do a pilot program?
Yes, I think those are discussions that we need to have, and we would welcome those discussions. We would love the opportunity to talk about what services we can help the county with, as well as how we can work together to ensure stability and to replace some of the lost revenue from the property taxes.
Do you have any examples of that from your other municipalities that you work with?
The other municipalities, to be honest with you, did not approach us about pilot programs. Not in Sharon, not elsewhere. But
Okay.
we are certainly willing to have conversations about what that would look like with this county.
So are there any other services specifically that you work with other entities? I know you said you might be able to provide us with services or certain types of things like that.
So what we did have discussions with the city of Wilkes-Barre about what we could do together, and certainly I made a commitment to the mayor of the city that we would ensure that whatever Tenor could do as a nonprofit provider of healthcare services, what we could do with the city, including perhaps work with the mobile unit that they have, any screenings or vaccine possibilities, and we're going to follow up with those conversations.
Okay. I think Mr. Thornton has a question.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. You hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, this question goes to the tax revenue that will inevitably eventually be missing from the county coffers. So it's a high tightrope that council needs to walk, because on one hand, we know for sure, I'm 99% sure, that the hospital that's there now is not going to survive and they're going to leave town. And then we will be left with one major hospital in the Wilkes-Barre or Luzerne County or Wyoming Valley area anyway, which is really detrimental to the public's health, serving the community. So that, in my opinion, we cannot allow that to happen. But on the other hand, we have to balance that with the tax revenue we're going to lose. The current hospital pays a pretty good sized property tax to the county. And I believe when a not-for-profit company comes in, I don't know if all of that tax revenue is forgiven with the new entity, or are they going to pay partial, or what portion of that? So the questions I have for anybody there in the room tonight, and it might be even Ms. Roselle that could answer this, how much tax, property tax, is currently being paid by the hospital there now, not just on their main buildings, but all their other buildings on the property or the campus? That includes vacant houses or houses that are being used by staff or whatever. What is the total property tax annually that we're receiving from that entity? And then if this deal with Tenor goes through with the municipal bonds and we approve that at a future meeting, how will that affect the tax revenue? Will any property taxes be paid to the county from Tenor, the medical group there? And I'm just curious to know what those numbers are tonight.
Manager Crocomore, did you want to?
Mary
respond?
Roselle is out of the office, so she doesn't have access to her computer, but we can get that number to you. It is significant.
Okay, whatever that number is, to the woman at the podium who's been very clear, I thank you for your presentation tonight. Being that you're coming in here and you want to take over this hospital, do you have any idea of what those tax revenues are? Or do you have any idea, my second part of the question is, do you have any idea of what you would be paying in the way of property tax? Would it be zero or would it be partial? What's the answer to that?
So in terms of the numbers, I don't have an exact number. I think the city stated its a little bit less than $750,000. But what to, as I stated earlier, is that we will have conversations about what the hospital can do moving forward in light of all of the initiatives that we have. What I will say, though, is because the number of employees has been decreasing, that those funds are not being seen by the vis-a-vis payroll taxes. That's not coming back into the city, county, as well as any physical plant or capital expenditures. We would utilize a combination of local resources at a minimum, as well as others to make improvements. That hasn't been seen in the region for quite some time. So I think there, in addition to the property tax issue, there are other things that Tenor would be able to bring to the community. And again, we can talk about these things when we have discussions with the various entities about what a pilot would look like.
All right, Attorney.
Okay, but I'm still not clear. You mentioned 750,000 for the city. I don't know how that's relevant with us here at the county, but I'm just most concerned about the property tax revenue that's going to be lost. So I guess the next question would be, when you've done, like in Sharon, when you did the other project, are you paying any property tax to the county there, or is it 100% forgiven?
So for Sharon, it's a different transaction structure. The real estate is owned by an entity that is for profit. So we're a lessee in Sharon.
So the county therefore did not lose tax revenue as we would here, because this situation is entirely different from Sharon in that there is not a in-between entity that is paying the tax, correct?
So Mercer County did decrease the property taxes there, and we are seeking a further modification, and we're working with Mercer County for that. Lackawanna County for Scranton has not approached us about a pilot program. They have a larger concern about healthcare in the region.
Okay, so my question to County Manager Crockrell, before the next meeting, if someone could get us those numbers, the tax revenues that are currently being paid in their entirety, property tax, back and payroll tax, property taxes that are currently being paid to Luzerne County. And then the second question is, if and when Tenor took over, what would be the property tax that they would be paying going forward? Those are the two numbers that we all should be interested in sitting around the table. Thank you.
We'll get those for you.
All right, Attorney Skeen has a question.
Oh, I always forget that. Okay. I think we recently issued a bond, so to refinance some of our debt. And obviously, we were on the hook for that bond if something would have gone wrong. I think council wants to be sure that in this transaction, there's no liability and that we're not standing behind the bonds whatsoever.
No, there's not.
See, you forgot too.
Yeah, these aren't our bonds. We're just the conduit that they're utilizing to go through. So we're totally indemnified by the resolutions, and a copy of those were made available to you. And so there's no liability on the part of the hospital authority because we're just being utilized. So we're not getting the bond. The bond is just going through us.
Right. So then the same with the county, we would have no liability either.
Correct. And all of the transactions that the hospital authority has ever brought to council or commissioners has always been, we've always made sure that there is no liability on the county or the authority.
Okay, so the only issue that, if council is concerned about that, would be the taxes. There's no other liability for
The question per the act is whether or not it detrimentally affects the health, safety, and welfare of the residents it impacts.
Right. Okay.
All
And
right.
then the only reason that there would be a tax change compared to what we have now is because Tenor is nonprofit.
Well, they are a nonprofit, and that's why they could come through our authority. You could speak better as to what the tax implications are of that. I know what they are. But yes, they are a not-for-profit. That is clear.
And the hospital that's in Scranton, is that already a nonprofit?
No, CHS is a for-profit. Yeah.
Okay.
CHS is a for-profit, so all of those hospitals are for-profit.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right, any
So
other
you
council?
could go to Lackawanna County?
Who?
And you can go to Lackawanna County to ask what you're asking us?
No.
No?
Can I explain the reason for that?
Yes, please.
So the Series A and Series B bond that went through the Luzerne, the Northeastern Pennsylvania Hospital and Education Authority, those funds are dedicated for the purchase of the Wilkes-Barre General Hospital. And I want to make this very clear because legally it's very important that no funds that are before you today, not $1, goes through the acquisition or goes toward the acquisition of Regional or Moses Taylor. If it did, then I would have to come here for the TEFRA hearing and the approval, and I would have to go to Lackawanna County for a TEFRA hearing and approval as well, because then the Internal Revenue Service would be very upset that they were giving tax-free money and it wasn't being used for the purposes as it was set forth in the resolutions. So no, all of the money we're talking about today is for Wilkes-Barre General Hospital only.
So will there also have to be a bond done in Lackawanna County?
No, there is no bond done in Lackawanna County. All of the funds they're using is to purchase Wilkes-Barre General Hospital.
But they're getting all the hospitals.
They're getting all the hospitals. But they're not using tax-free money to buy those hospitals. Did that explain
How
it?
are the Lackawanna County hospitals being acquired?
I'll let Bart Plank answer that because he's handling the funding for the hospital.
So I think as it was commented previously, Community Health System has been on divestiture trend. I can't remember what the numbers were that were cited, but they've been selling hospitals to pay off their credit facility. They've been trying to figure out how to exit gracefully the Pennsylvania market of these three hospitals. And so the hospital acquisition is a package purchase of the three hospitals, depending on how you want to count the Scranton hospitals as one or two. The Scranton facilities operationally have been losing money, so there really is not a purchase price per se associated with it. So the proceeds from the bonds that we're looking to get approved are strictly for the purchase of the Wilkes-Barre Hospital. And I think it's also important to understand that the revenues from that hospital solely are, and the collateral, the mortgages that the lender will get are solely for the benefit of those bonds and that bondholder, which will be Rosemar Asset Management. Similarly, those revenues are going to stay in the Wilkes-Barre, the Tenor Wilkes-Barre Regional 501c3. So those monies, the lender is very focused on that money staying in this community for that hospital and not going to support the operations at Scranton. Rada and the Tenor team will have more of a system approach, like as Commonwealth is now, as how they think about the assets, but the profitability will remain in your community in that 501c3 really in perpetuity.
So, again, though, how are the Lackawanna County hospitals being acquired? The Luzerne County Hospital, Wilkes-Barre General,
There's no purchase price.
so they're being essentially given to Tenor.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any other council members have questions?
I do, Mr.
Let Ms. Stevenson and then Mr. Thornton.
Thank you.
Okay.
So from all of your point of views, what are the potential consequences or challenges that might negatively impact this community that you may be perceiving before implementing Tenor Health in Wilkes-Barre?
Well, I think Michael, yeah.
So my hospital and the hospitals in Scranton went through an attempted sale over a year ago. Each time you go through one of those processes, it's trying, it's stressful for my staff. It leads the community to be unsure of the future of the hospital. This is the first time that an entity has come forward that has the wherewithal to make this sale go through. Some people mistakenly think that there's people on the sideline waiting for this to fall through, and then they'll come in, swoop in, and buy the hospitals. There's been at least 10 or 15 different entities that have looked at the purchases and have never gone any further. So it's not like there's a Jefferson that's just waiting to come in. They'd be not-for-profit as well. Geisinger can't purchase. They'd be not-for-profit, but they couldn't purchase because of the monopoly issues. So it's not as if there's a lot of folks that are wanting to buy hospitals in struggling markets. So I think we're very fortunate that we have a group that has put together a very viable opportunity. I may not have directly answered your question. The potential is that I think, and it was stated, regional hospitals would close rather rapidly. I think our hospital would survive, but it would continue to lose market share, would continue to have to look at critical service closures.
Do you have any other questions, Ms. Stevenson? All right, Mr. Thornton.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is questions for the gentleman at the podium. So I have a long history and background in municipal bond issuance, and sometimes the owner of the bonds and the borrowing entity, because just for everybody's edification there, a bond is just a loan. And it's money that a bond is floated out there with the public invests, and they get a tax-free interest in return. That's why the public wants to invest in these bonds. And if the bond provides an enormous amount of revenue, in this case for Tenor, to go forward with the purchase and to start their hospital. But the question I have, on occasion, sometimes the bond issuer or the entity that's receiving the revenue from them, they go bankrupt, and the bond defaults. And when there's a default in a bond, many times the investors who invested in that bond are not paid back. My question is here, and I'm not thinking that's going to happen here because Tenor sounds like a very well-run organization, but since Tenor will be overseeing the hospital operations in Scranton, Moses Regional up there, what happens if those two hospitals in Scranton fail miserably, say 3, 4, 5 years from now, and they become quite a large financial burden on Tenor? Could it possibly impact Tenor's bottom line then, which would naturally impact the running of the Wilkes-Barre General Hospital and could possibly impact the payment of those municipal bonds? I'm wondering if that were to happen, if the Lackawanna County hospitals became terribly distressed financially, and how that would possibly affect Luzerne County and possibly hurt us liability-wise. That's what I'm concerned about.
This is Bart Plank from Kane Brothers. So as I had mentioned, the two entities are completely separate. So were the Scranton hospitals to fail or go into bankruptcy, there would be no impact to Wilkes-Barre. There would be no impact to those bonds. I think, Brian, to your point or observation, could you make a case that Tenor as a management company would be distracted or otherwise be spending time at Scranton that could be devoted to Wilkes-Barre? I suppose you could make that inference, but again, hospital management companies manage all over the country manage many different hospitals. A lot of them do it across, all across the country in different states. Obviously, Rada and her team dedicate time to Sharon Regional and making sure that's successful. So, I can only say that they would try and dedicate their time as appropriate to each of the facilities that they manage, which is in their 501c3 charter. But from a financial perspective, and again, as I had tried to articulate previously, the lender here is also very concerned to be sure that Wilkes-Barre, as currently as a profitable hospital, remains profitable and has those resources reinvested. Well, first of all, to pay back the loan, and then secondarily to continue to invest in the operations and keep the quality and the profitability of Wilkes.
All right, Brian, are you, any other questions? Mr. Thornton?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, anybody else, questions? Mr. Haas, did you have a question or two?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, I was just thinking for Mr. Plank again. So the hospital acquisitions, it's just two totally separate entities from this general acquisition.
Correct. So there's essentially effectively a Tenor Wilkes-Barre 501c3 and a Tenor Scranton 501c3.
Okay.
And obviously CHS's goal in this, I shouldn't say obviously, I guess you could consider the speculation. They want to exit the Pennsylvania market, receive a purchase price, and not leave closed hospitals, in their wake, because they do continue to be a publicly traded hospital management company. So it's not great for your reputation to be a hospital management company and have hospitals, close under your watch.
I mean, we appreciate that continuum of service for our neighbors, of course. We want to see them succeed, support the staff, and all the clients are going to use it. I mean, perhaps though, knowing that that the bond issue is going to really benefit the hospital in the long term, perhaps Ms. Savatille, you can keep that in mind when you negotiate with Luzerne County. That in Lackawanna County, it's a different financing structure, right? So, if this council approves the bond issue, that's a win-win. It's helping out your group, obviously, and it's helping out our hospital situation here. But again, our bottom line, like Mr. Thornton's been talking about, is the tax base that it's a big hit. It's a big hit to us. But thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
I would just say, with respect to that, I think it's worth, and Rada, feel free to weigh in, understanding that Tenor Health Foundation is not a not-for-profit that has $100 million in the bank. They're working here on their mission. They're providing, I think what we would refer to as sweat equity to make these hospitals work. We start day one with a balance sheet that is funded by debt. The $25 million taxable loan is essentially funding cash at Wilkes-Barre as a starting point, because this may be too technical, but with revenue cycle in a hospital, we don't go to the hospital and walk out like we do at the supermarket and pay money at the door. So I think what Rada and the Tenor team are saying is, as they grow the balance sheet, add cash and liquidity to the operations there to have a stable environment and maintain the profitability and grow the services, that then there would be an appropriate time, I think, for them to have a discussion about the pilot and provide money, back to the community in that way. But it's not like we're sitting here saying we've got, tens of millions of dollars and we don't want to give it to anybody. It's quite the opposite.
Okay, anything else, council members? All right, thank you all very much for your time. We appreciate, every answer you gave us. This will definitely help us in our decision. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, next up we have, you want to take a break? Okay, all right, we'll take, it's 7:59. We'll take a 10-minute break. We'll come back at 10 after 8 with budget information.
You could have worn it tonight.
Hi, Karen. Oh, good guy.
I gotta change it. I've been stuck. It's the same time for a while.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
What's going on?
Busy? Yeah, we're swamped, of course. Just never gets better. Oh, you're almost done.
Yeah,
Free at last. It'll be as short as humanly possible. Yeah.
The truck will be there. Is it gonna be soon? You have food at your house? I do. So I'll have a sandwich though before we take it. I have deer chili. Oh, there we go. That's good.
All right, council members, it's 10 after 8. Please return to the meeting room.
Sorry.
Push this along.
Okay.
Yo, kids, let's go. We'll get this over. I'll get James out here too.
Okay.
I'll try. Not literally, we've just had that hospital
All right, council
discussion.
members. All right, it's 8:11 p.m. Call the meeting back to order. We did have one other agenda item that we skipped. Number 4, which was discussion regarding a minimum bid policy to the real estate proposal packet for the purchase of Luzerne County-owned property. Ms. McDermott, you just want to go over that quickly if you can?
Yes, so currently, any of the county-owned property that we are trying to sell, we have never had a minimum bid, so it's a great idea to have a minimum bid. But we have 25% in there, which I think is a lot. These properties have been sitting, doing nothing. Most of the time, they're just little corner pieces or something that's just adjacent to a property owner who may be interested in purchasing it. If we put a minimum bid, I think that's good. And then if there's something that we think is worth more, we could always revisit that. And ultimately, county council does decide how much to spend or how much they want to sell it for. So I would say I'd like to make an amendment to change that to 10%. Not that it's, we're not voting on today, but I would just say 10% is better than the 25%. Again, a lot of these assessed values are still very high. The property really is not worth much. They're just sitting there doing nothing. So it's better to sell them and get them on the tax rolls.
Okay, any questions on that?
I support that too, because and we come from an era, Mr. Chairman, when the assessed value, the bids were way low, and the county lost a lot of revenue on some properties they just dumped. So,
Okay.
support that 100%.
All right, any other comments? All right, thank you very much. We'll now move into the budget work session. First up, we have Division 12, District Attorney's Office.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for having me. I think if you have our written proposals, my fiscal clerk, Sherry, did an excellent job of putting in the notes exactly the explanation for changes. There were just a few minor things I wanted to hit. I'd like to thank Manager Crocomo and Mary Rozelle for working with Sherry. I think we did a pretty good job nailing this budget down. I'm happy to report that we're going to be well within our 2025 budget. I'm happy to report that for budgetary purposes. I am not happy to report it because I'm down 16 people and the vacancies are largely responsible for that. So thank you to my staff who goes above and beyond to make sure that the work gets done, even though we're very short on people. The state budget, or lack of a state budget, is having an adverse effect on my office in the sense that our disbursements from the state that help us run the drug task force have not been coming in, so we have been trying to make do to see that they can continue to fight the drug trafficking issues in Luzerne County. I know one area that we talk about at length, it seems every budget year, is a capital case line item. I can say that there are multiple cases that look like they are going to be capital and tried next year. So hopefully that line item remains the same. And then lastly, kind of the elephant in the room is the airport. I would like to thank Manager Crocomo, who has been very supportive of having police at the airport. I can't believe that in 2025 we're having a discussion about not putting police officers in an airport. But the funding has become the issue. I am continuing to go to our federal government to hope that they will reinstitute the funding that caused us to get reimbursed before. And also, I know we've been working with Manager Crocomo different discussions about, how that fee can be split up and Luzerne County can get some of its money back from that program. It's basically being funded because of the vacancies in my office right now. I'm happy to answer any questions, but unless there's something specific you wanted me to talk about, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, I actually just have two questions. So in the line item 560.60 for dues and memberships, it is at, the budget is for $37,200 this year, this coming year, and currently you've only spent $9,747. In 2024, the adopted amount was $28,400, and you spent $24,000. Is there a reason for the increase?
I'm thinking that the cost of subscriptions is that the one you're looking at?
Dues and memberships, and I was going to ask about subscriptions as well.
Okay. So dues and memberships are the fees for all the different associations that we belong to, namely the Pennsylvania District Attorneys Association. So that's calculated based on whatever numbers they tell us. The subscriptions actually includes things that for evidence. So, for example, there's a subscription fee to download cell phones, the software that allows us to do things like that. We have a subscription fee for our total scan that recreates crime scenes. I think the CVSA subscription is in there, so there are all these different things that we need to investigate cases.
Okay, all right, thank you. Any other questions?
Just one, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
Hey, Attorney Sagandolci, just airport security?
The line item for airport security is in wages and salaries.
It's in plain wages and salaries. What's the bottom line for that? 12,000 a month, so 144 a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions? Nope. All right.
All right, thanks,
Quick
everybody.
and painless.
I want to thank the district attorney for everything that he does for Luzerne County. We're very fortunate to have him as our chief law enforcement officer.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Everyone.
And we will be having a meeting with Lackawanna County on November 19th about the Leo agreement.
Okay. Next up, we have judicial records. Attorney Raddick.
Before Paula begins, I just want to want council to know some of the advances that Judicial Services in the Prothonotary's office specifically has achieved over the last year and some of the plans going forward. We streamlined the stale case list with 257 cases terminated and 42 proceedings from an original number of 1,123. I'm saying this because Paula probably won't self-report all these achievements, and Molly. We automated the bail forfeiture account in the CPCMS system, turning the refund of bail forfeitures from a manual process into an automated process. This eliminates the need to type checks and get manual signatures from authorized signers. We completed an IQS, that's our Prothonotary Viewer vendor, a refresher training course for all members of the department, both the Prothonotary and the clerk of course members. Just want to remind everybody, one of the goals of Home Rule was to cross-train the Prothonotary and the court administrators, and they did it. Paula and Molly actually did it. We hired 3 new staff members and promoted a current employee to clerk 3 to be an administrative assistant. We have plans for 2026, which include e-filing appeals. So what we're going to do is be able to send the transcripts and all the docket documents to the appellate court via electronic means, rather than putting them in big boxes. First of all, making copies, putting them in boxes, and sometimes it's many boxes in medical malpractice cases, and shipping them via mail to the appellate courts, who sometimes don't receive the documents, so we have to send them again. Sometimes the documents are torn, or they're coming out of the box. So we are working with the administrative offices of the Pennsylvania courts to send everything electronically and to streamline the appeal process. That will eliminate postage costs, losing documents, and it will also free up our staff to do other work. We're also doing the CPCMS, which is the criminal state system and the system used for dependency. We're doing all the training in-house for all members of the department, and we're enhancing our emailing and electronic filing. So we will try to mirror the federal court system as much as possible. And these are not only time savers, but they increase efficiencies. And I'm very proud of both Paula and Molly. Molly, why don't you stand up? Thank you, both.
Thank you, Manager Crocomo. Am I on?
Yep, you're
Okay,
on.
Sorry. I also have my other managers here from my departments. If there's something that I can't answer, I have the coroner, Dion Fernandez, and Mary Disleski from the Recorder of Deeds and the Register of Wills, and Jim Juskevich is also here from the Prothonotari's office. And I'm missing someone. The sheriff, who's standing behind me. And Butch from the Records Retention unfortunately had a health issue, so he is not here this evening. We have, basically, I'll give you the highlights. Our proposed revenue exceeds our proposed expenses by over $300,000. We should be getting an upward swing in our fees, and that could be attributed to the certified marriage license and probate fees, which are increasing. Bail poundage, as Manager Crocomo touched on, we have increased collections on that, and that has expanded exponentially, and predicted at 361,700 for that was our 2025, and our proposed for 2026 is 500,000. We have some scanning projects which we are looking into doing with our 501 accounts, which are our automation accounts that we get the fees for, and that money goes automatically into that account, and we're only allowed to use that for certain things. Our advertising budget has gone up exponentially because it's costing us more and more in order to advertise, and we are required by statute to advertise, so unless they change that, we have to continue that. Let's see, what else? Advertising, and we have some, for the sheriff's office, we have some expansion in the meeting, conference, and training fees. There are some recertifications that have to be done in the next year in order to keep our office up to date, and that has raised that by about a little over $7,000. I mean, that's basically, that's the highlights. I would be happy to answer any questions that you have from my one sheet.
Any questions from council members?
I just have one,
Mr.
Chair.
Haas?
Hey, Attorney Rack, good to see you again.
You too.
Thanks for coming. Look at the very first page with revenue, under judicial records, Recorder of Deeds. We can speak to that. Line item 400.25, the transfer tax.
I'm sorry, are you on my one sheet or are you on the budget worksheet?
I'm the budget, I'm sorry,
Okay.
the budget.
And
binder,
I'm sorry,
everybody. So it's page 1, council members, and it's the revenue side for the Recorder of Deeds office.
Recorder of Deeds office.
Do you have a page number there?
No, there's no, it's the very first one in the, I can give you, it's the very first one under the Judicial Services tab.
Make sure we have the same. You're on the 100. Okay, the general fund right here.
That's it, yeah, that looks good. I have a little expanded view.
Okay, so I'm sorry, what was your
No,
question?
no, that's all right. So just for the edification of everybody out there, it's 1%. Every time a property is sold, it's a 1% tax that comes to the county. And so in 2024, our telescope version has 367,665 coming in. The actuals for 2025 are 226,000, and the budget for this next year is 330,000. So it looks like we're on target for meeting that 330 for sure for 2025. Do you think that could be higher? Because the market's still pretty hot. It's still a seller's market.
I think it's
And-
possible. I
Is Mary-
I
oh,
think
Mary,
I would
I'm
defer
sorry,
to
Mary, I
Mary,
didn't-
but I
I
think.
would have asked Mary directly in the break.
But
didn't see
I
there,
think
Mary. I'm
it's
sorry.
possible, but I think we try to err on the side of caution because we're not sure. We don't know it. We can't predict the market, as we're all aware, so.
And I ask those kind of questions all the time, but, yeah,
I wish I had a magic
Yeah.
ball that I
If
could.
Mrs. Schlesig could speak to it, I'd happily hear from her, but I don't want to put you on the spot.
The other thing I have to say is even though the market is still high, there's not as many deeds going on, so that kind of keeps it a little bit lower than you might expect. But, so the considerations are high, but not as many properties are still being sold. So we've seen like a decrease in deeds. Correct. Whether that will change when the mortgage rates change a little bit more, and there'll be more transfers, I don't know. But yes, you're correct, they are still high as far as consideration.
Councilman
But
Hawes.
it's a downtrend.
We took a more conservative approach to some of these numbers, and this is one of them.
And that's responsible budgeting, but, you know, I'm a politician trying to squeeze out every drop.
I
And we know
understand.
this. We know this, but thank you, Mrs. Slesky, thank you, Paula.
All right, anybody else? Questions? All right, thank you, Attorney Raddick.
Thank you.
All right, moving right along.
Good evening.
Operational services.
Trial by fire,
Your
right?
your first official act.
So for 2026, there are going to be 4 adjustments in salaries. The senior GIS analyst, the director of project management, facilities capital projects engineer, and infrastructure maintenance engineer. Other than that, there are lots of departments in operations, but the main changes, if you look at the one page for operations, a lot of the adjustments that you'll see are because we've moved GIS and planning from admin services to operations. So that accounts for quite a bit of the changes. I believe it may be a little confusing on the second page of the one sheet where it is wages represented. There's a 14% change, but if you look at the narrative, I think that was just carried over from one position. So I did verify with Caitlin Holland earlier. So this line item accounts only for the 100 fund. It accounts for, there was a 2.5% increase per the collective bargaining agreement. There was additional money, like we talked about, with the change from mapping and admin, and then overall, it was reduced by another 5 positions through retirement or leaving the county. So it's down, but it's not, if that makes sense. You'll notice, if you look through each department, a lot of the utilities we have increased because everything else is going up. One of the specific line items is to run internet at the road and bridge garages because we've had some issues with the employees needing to clock in and out. So that is a new account. I don't know if you have specific questions.
Council members, any questions? I know there's a lot of departments to look over here. Anything specific?
I know you'll also notice, not in the 100 fund, but the other accounts, you'll notice that there are large increases percentage-wise, and it's just because we're carrying over more money this year than we had last year. So that's another big ticket change.
Mr. Sabatino?
I have a 911 related question, maybe Ms. Morgan can answer. How much funding are we getting from the 911 surcharge right now? Or bill?
Right now, it's $1.95 on every phone line. So we're getting about 8.3 million, I believe it is.
Thank you.
And that is up for renewal as of next year's.
Thank you.
Do you want to touch on that, Bill, that it's important if we don't get that money?
Yes, it is very important. I mean, that's. Bill, can you, if you're going to keep speaking, can you just go up to the microphone so the audience can hear you on the Zoom? Or else Mr. Thornton is going to get mad.
Yes, that funding is very important to us. I mean, obviously, if we don't get it, that's $8.3 million that the county's got to come up with to fill that gap. There's a couple different options for next year on the table already. Obviously, let it drop and not get the money, keep it the same at $1.95 per phone, or go up to, I think they're looking at $2.20 per phone. So that would be a nice increase.
Who authorizes that?
That's PEMA.
Okay. So the state legislature?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
No problem.
All right. Anything else, Ms. Sparich?
I just have one quick one.
Go ahead.
Mr. Chair. Hi, Ms. Sparich, welcome.
Thank you.
Same thing as Ms. Raddick, the very first page in your report, in the council binder, everybody, it's operational services, 4174 buildings and grounds. And the line item is 460.28. It's expense reimbursement, and just want to know if you could clarify
Oh,
what exactly that is.
That, Nick, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that is because we're not getting reimbursed from 111 Pennsylvania Avenue. I believe Human Services was reimbursing us for some supplies and some time related to that, but I believe that's what the change is.
It is, okay. All right, thank you.
Any other questions by council members? All right.
I mean, if you think of any, not that I
Yeah.
want to make more work, but for myself, but if you think of any, let me know.
Thank you.
Yeah, if council members have any questions, as always, you can send an email to the division heads. They'll
Thank you.
happily answer them.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, finally, we have Controller Griffith.
Yep. Everybody has a copy of my budget. If there's any questions, I'll answer the questions. It's pretty simple, straightforward budget. It's an increase of $4,000 because of salary increases on the non-represented and well, we don't have an increase in the represented because they don't have a contract yet, so if anybody has any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer.
Any questions for the controller?
I was wondering if the controller-elect had any insight onto the budget for next year, since he will be holding the office.
No.
I would like to call the controller-elect to the podium to speak, if that would be okay with the chair.
I'd be okay with that, sure.
It's not his budget, but you could call him.
Okay. All right. Mr. McGinley, would you like to speak on the budget for next year?
Thank you. First of all, thank you, Council. I know you have a lot of work to do with the budget, and I appreciate that, and good luck with it, because it's not easy. I also would like to say, I'm looking forward to coming back to work in the county, and hopefully we can have a very good working relationship. Obviously, Mr. Griffith has put together his budget, and there's some questions there that probably are going to surface as we go through there. I'm asking the council if they would allow a little flexibility in order for me to be able to look at it closely, talk to some of the staff and people who would have a part of that, and then maybe come back to the council and ask for some small revisions. I understand that, you have a money issue. Obviously, when you have a tax increase, everybody's very concerned. So I mean, I will be very honest and straightforward, and will make no requests without very much the documentation that would be necessary. I've looked at the budget. I think there's a couple of things. You know, obviously, that there's been a vacancy in that office, so that salary has not been paid, and the appropriate fringe benefits that go with that. So it's a little hard to justify some of the salary right now until you have a fully staffed office. Okay? You have any,
Do you have,
Again.
do you have
ahead.
any other suggestions immediately that you've observed, or is something that you'll have to
I would
come
like
to us
to-
after speaking to the
Yeah,
staff?
I need to talk to a few people to get some more information. If I have anything, I will certainly forward it to Chairman, and then you can take care of distributing to the parties involved.
All right.
All right?
Any other questions? Thank you very much, Mr. McGinley.
Thank you.
Controller Griffith, do you have anything else you wanted to speak on? Okay. All
Can I
right.
ask the
Thank you.
current controller a question?
Yep.
Yeah, Mr. Controller, brought up a couple, I guess it was just last meeting, about if you'd be willing to perform an audit on the Bureau of Tax Assessment Appeals.
Right.
Just heard some reports that in this very hot economy that we're selling a lot of properties, valuations are actually been ratcheted down. So I don't know if you can take a look at that
Yep.
in your last couple months.
Yep, thank you. That's all I have nothing else.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. Public comment? Anybody? Public comment? Anybody on the Zoom? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting's adjourned. Thank you very much, everybody.